Hi everyone again. Just show these two phones. I've actually showed these earlier a few years ago, so there'll be a very quick one on this one. This one I did in fact show, I believe, all the innards, and just a quickie on it. Show the type. It's obviously Iskra. It's let's get the name right. It's ETA 85. ETA 85, and obviously it passed lots of what they call them, designs. And so just a quickie on this one. The keypad sends out pulse rather than tone, and the two buttons just repeats the last number dialed. Another reason I put this in, I tried this just the other day and it was crackling. Originally it didn't crackle, but the cord into the instrument itself had obviously fractured somewhere along the line, normally on the bend. The wire is it's like tinsel type wire. It's like flattened strands. Very similar to Litz wire. Hell of a job to actually mend, but it can be done. And by cutting out that section, which was on the bend, I replaced the fractured piece, replaced it, and virtually just twisted them up. It was a bit of a job, but that, and cleverly placing some plastic insulation tape around it, done the trick, and that's inside hidden, and it now works without it crackling. So that is a quick tip. Where you'd get one of these cords from, I don't know, but nevertheless that did work, and it's back to being usable again. I thought at one time it might have also been fractured in the handset, but that part was okay. It was rather interesting to note that when I took the handset off, undone the two little screws there, the transmitter and receiver looked like they were the same type of instrument, which is quite interesting. So obviously they're probably magnetic type, the coil. And also the circuitry inside, which I didn't mention on the first time round, did not use the little ASTIC transformer or induction coil. It used the electronic type circuit, so that was fairly modern for its time. Anyhow, leaving this one, we come on to another one which I did show, but this one I didn't give any showing of the innards, and I think it's important to have a little look inside, virtually how they work, how they're made. Anyhow, as I say, I can take the cover off very easily. It's already unscrewed. I say very easy, not always the case. Not always the case, but in this case it did come off fairly easily. No diagram. One case placed down. Let's have a look. We can remove the dial. It's the same dial as the other phone I showed. It's got a better way of providing the dust cover. This dust cover is actually screwed on by, looks like a couple of screws. In fact, a couple of screws become three screws. Same type of movement, exactly the same. It's obviously a design which had proved to have been successful. And having a look inside, this one uses a normal ringer with this single coil ringing device, which seems to be quite popular on these. It's not a tone generator as this one was, that had like a little electronic tone inside, but this one has a normal bell, and the circuit's more conventional. You've got your induction coil, not a transistor in sight, so this one is obviously not an electronic job. In fact, it looks very basic. Looking at it, looks very basic. You've got a capacitor there, which is obviously for the bell circuit. A couple of resistors, diodes. Funny enough, don't know why, there's two diodes in there which are not used. They're soldered at one end but not at the other, so I don't know why that is. It does work, and obviously a modification somewhere along the line. But I only just noticed that. See what I mean there? They're only joined at one side. I say diodes, they're two rectifiers, but they're obviously not used. You've got your little induction coil, anti-side tone. Very, very few bits. It's quite well made. It's quite well made. Okay, it's plasticky, but it's well made. What I did do there, the wire going to the bell was very close to the gongs, so make sure that it don't actually touch the gongs. If it touches the gongs, it'll cause the ringing to not be very nice and clean. But there we are. I'll say it'll be a short video, this one. No diagram. It looks like it's been modified with that those two rectifiers that were disconnected at one end. But I can assure you the phone does work. I've tested it out. It seems to work quite well. Handset. Interested with this handset, the way you get into it is just unscrew the two covers. You don't have to, there's no screws in there, so you get to the components by undoing the two covers. There's like just a quick release, and you can get to the actual capsule. Just quickly show you I always take these off. This was the plug that came with it. Obviously fits the country of origin for telephone. 3-pin plug was the same as on the other one I showed the other day, but this one has got the modern American type plug, so they obviously changed over at some time. Anyhow, any questions please ask, I'll try and put them in. Thanks again for any questions passing on. As I say, a lot of the phones that I've featured, well not a lot of them, but some of them have been featured previously, so it might pay to have a look at some of my old videos. But with the new ones, I'm trying to show more of the actual innards, how they're made, how they're put together, and showing a bit more detail. And once I go and turn this over if I can, you've got your little, I can show it, the B sign and the bell. So you can either have it on a buzzer or a bell. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll put this up and see how we do. Thanks again for watching. Thank you.